Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Yellow Alert, where we take a look at the dev posts over the past week on Spectrum and break them down for you. Okay, so first up we had a post from Fern and it says server meshing, research phase or production phase? So CIG, what stage is server meshing more in? The research phase, we aren't sure how it will work yet, but are looking into it. Or the production phase, we know exactly how to do it and have a mostly clear roadmap internally for what milestones to hit to achieve it. So we had a response from Clive Johnson from CIG and he says definitely production phase. We've spent a lot of time and effort planning out server meshing until we were confident we had addressed all the major risks and unknowns for the first version. This roadmap includes several integrations of our code back to the development mainline so that our changes are being tested by as many of our fellow developers as soon as possible and get included in the following quarterly release. Some of these integrations only affect things beneath the surface and haven't or won't have any noticeable impact on how players experience the game as a whole or its performance. From the outside, it may look like sometimes not much progress is being made. The plans for server meshing beyond its first version are still in the research phase. We have pretty clear ideas of what we want to do and how, and we'll continue to flesh out these ideas as we work towards the first version. However, these plans can't be finalised until that first version is in your hands and working well enough for us to see what the problems are with it. Building incrementally like this allows us to be sure of our footing along the way and address any unforeseen issues as they arise. So it's one of those things, it's a double-edged sword because they say they're definitely in a production phase, but they're in a production phase which we physically can't see, which is fair enough, but yeah, that's like saying, I promise you that there's a bunny in this hat. Oh look, it's disappeared. You know, you just have to trust that they're telling the truth. So I suppose we just have to kind of see how it goes. And, you know, when we get this first iteration, it'd be interesting to see what kind of a state it's in. Okay, so next up we had a post from Cutthroat Imperium and it says, Firesprite developing Theatres of War since early 2019. So it says, it's nice to hear that they do actually have more people working on Theatres of War than we've been led to believe, which was up to 12 CIG employees working on it. But isn't that a lie by omission to leave out that detail that backer dollars were being paid to another company for the development of a game mode for 2 years now? I can see why the mode is useful for better balancing combat between first-person shooters, vehicles and ships. Heck, it could also maybe get a small portion of the Battlefield crowd interested if CIG plays their cards right. But is it so important of a feature that between 6 to 12 CIG employees and up to 200 Firesprite employees, as per their Wikipedia, have been working on it for 2 years now? Chris Roberts is listed as a technical director for the company as well. Perhaps the interest in partnering with Firesprite is that most of their experience is working with VR games? ? So we had a post back here from Xylo and it says, I'd like to clarify that there are not 200 Firesprite employees working on Theatres of War. The strike team at Firesprite currently working on Theatres of War is 10, and that has stayed pretty stable since we started working together. The team consists of people working on art, design, code and a producer. So there you go. Basically, this, you know, there's never very much information, and the problem is, once again, is that we kind of get spoon-fed these tiny bits of information, and then the backers go crazy trying to fathom what's going on, and we get these elaborate backstories of, you know, there's some cabal of evil geniuses making, I don't know, Theatres of War is actually going to be controlling other countries using mind powers. God knows, you know, so it's nice when they come out and tell us some actual information, but maybe they should just be a bit more forthcoming in the first place. Who knows? So moving on, we actually had another post here, which was, this was actually a 3.12 live feedback for Arena Commander and Star Marine. So there were quite a few questions here, but there was a couple that were kind of interesting. So there was a question here from Renlos Malik, I believe his name is, and he asked a bunch of questions, but the ones that were responded to by the DJ Bunting was currently there is only one map being played for elimination. And DJ Bunting says, I noticed this too. I'll make sure we start tracking the issue. Damien Comms should be in the rotation. The issue of everyone always having the same spawn point is also being addressed right now. He also says, why in God's name is the flight model in AC, which is Arena Commander, so different to the PU? And DJ Bunting says, I'm not aware of anything that would make them different. Arena Commander play spaces are regular empty spaces, so shouldn't have any effect on the ships. Now, there was a question under here that basically says, I think what he's referring to is that the PU gameplay is like slow motion compared to AC. And then DJ Bunting came back and said, talked about it briefly with Yogi today. It's most likely down to poorer performance and less reference objects in the PU, as the flight model is exactly the same. So essentially they've actually agreed that the reason AC works so well and the PU doesn't is just down to poor optimization and performance on the PU. So the flight model should feel snappier and more aggressive when you're using fighters, but it actually just still feels sluggish and boring, and that is because it's just not working maybe as intended in the PU at the moment, which is a bigger question, I think, because if it isn't working in the PU as intended, then why do they make it seem like this was their plan all along when it works apparently perfectly and flawlessly in Arena Commander? Which way's up? But anyway, the last post for the day, we had a post here from Wayne from CIG, and it says Alpha 3.13 patch watch. New cave missions. So after last week's 3.13 patch watch on the MedPen update and additional character customization options, we're following up with another feature announcement for the upcoming build. To make the most of the all-new cave entrances, including sinkholes and vehicle-accessible openings, Alpha 3.13 introduces 3 new FPS mission types. So we've got FPS Cave Assassination. Criminal players will be given targets in caves from Moby-Glass mission giver Vaughn after completing one assassination for him. Players must navigate to a cave and find and kill a civilian target. If the player is in the monitored zone, this will be classed as murder. In support of this, the team fixed a bug that prevented players from receiving Vaughn's missions via Moby-Glass if they had to reset their character. So we also got an FPS Cave bounty. So lawful players will be asked by Crusader and Hurston security forces to hunt bounties in caves. These bounties will become available once the Crusader and Hurston bounty introduction missions are completed. Players must navigate to a cave and find a criminal target, protected by armed guards who will attempt to kill the player on sight. And last up we have FPS Cave Clear All. So players will be asked by Crusader and Hurston security forces to clear a cave of outlaws. Players must navigate to a cave and kill all the criminals they find inside. So I mean, at least it's something. It's more missions. I mean, albeit in the same vein as every other mission we've got. Go there, kill that person, or go there, kill the other person. It's kind of becoming a bit samey, but at least it's in a cave and it's a new experience. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not too janky. But we'll see. At least it's something new. And that is it. So short and sweet. There's really not a lot being said by CIG at the moment, but at least we're getting something. We really appreciate you guys watching this video. We hope you liked it. And if you did like it, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Don't forget to keep your eyes open for our streams in the week. If you haven't already, check out our Valheim series. It's good fun, check it out. But that is it. So thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.